May 2016, Claudio Ranieri guided Leicester City to unbelievable heights. At 5,000 to 1, they were crowned Premier League champions. Last Thursday, Claudio Ranieri was sacked as Leicester City manager. These are my thoughts. Premier League champions Leicester City are at this very moment, and they got rid of the man that brought them this glory. Claudio Ranieri was appointed in the summer of 2015. He was favoured to get sacked by many of the pundits. Many of the bookies had him all done a favourite to get sacked. So he was 8 to 15. But Ranieri did the impossible. He guided Leicester City to the league title at 5,000 to 1, and now he is on the dole. Claudio Ranieri did something that no other club manager will do in this era, in my era probably, and win the league title with, not a lot of money. He beat Chelsea to the title after Chelsea's terrible year last year. Arsenal, who should have won the league last year. Spurs, who were gunning for it until the final days of the season. Claudio Ranieri played such a big part in this league title. Even the day they won the league, which was the 2-2 draw against Spurs, I actually bought some papers. These were the headlines from that day. I know it's backwards, but fairy tale. What else do we have? Champions. And last but not least, the Incredibles, with the main man, Claudio Ranieri, on the back page. Claudio Ranieri done so much for Leicester City Football Club in the short space of time, and he has been given the boot very harshly, in my opinion, after such a, what some people would see as a great result away to Sevilla, losing 2-1 with an away goal. That was Jamie Vardy's first goal, I think, since November, and it was his first Champions League goal throughout the season. Leicester City, yes, I know they were 17th when Claudio Ranieri left, but they weren't in the relegation zone. And for me, it's really where Leicester should be. They should be, in the bottom half of the table, probably fighting for their lives. Not as badly as they were, but Ranieri, I think, should have been given the time to get them out of this mess. After all, he did, as I said, win them the Premier League title. He made Riyad Mahrez one of the best players in the world. He made them both, Riyad Mahrez and Jamie Vardy, challenging for the Ballon d'Or. Yes, the Ballon d'Or, with the likes of Messi, Ronaldo and Manuel Neuer in there for the Ballon d'Or. Vardy and Mahrez got there. It was actually such an incredible year for Leicester City last year. Claudio Ranieri made players like Huth and Morgan look like they were the best centre-backs in the world. And as Gary Lineker said, they now look like Huth and Morgan instead of two of the best centre-backs in the world. These players owe Claudio Ranieri everything. And as reports say, these were the players that got him sacked. Wes Morgan was considered for the England squad by Harry Redknapp, even though he was Jamaican. Danny Simpson looked like a world-class right back. Danny Bloody Simpson. Danny Simpson is a shocking right back, in my opinion. As in, he was never that great of a right back, and Claudio Ranieri turned him into a Premier League champion. For God's sake, he turned Nathan Dyer into a Premier League champion. He turned Leonardo Ulloa into a Premier League champion. These players that just really shouldn't be league champions, Claudio Ranieri turned into league champions. Jamie Vardy was playing at non-league level, and he was considered for moves to Barcelona and Real Madrid. And Claudio Ranieri has molded this team into Premier League champions. I know I keep repeating this, the Leicester and Claudio Ranieri won the Premier League, but that's how significant it was. They defied every single odd. They've defied every single script. This wouldn't even be made into a Hollywood movie. It's so bizarre. It wouldn't even be made into a Disney movie because there's so much magic in this story. And Ranieri was sacked, and you feel so sorry for the guy. Everything he has done for this football club. He's a lovely guy as well. He feels for the football club. As in, he had brought the success. He brought European football to the King Power. Champions League football to the King Power Stadium. I bet those fans never imagined playing Premier League football. And in fairness, I did see a lot of Leicester fans asking for Ranieri to leave, and those fans should really be ashamed of themselves, in my opinion. Ranieri is probably the greatest manager you've had. He is the greatest manager you ever will have. Leicester City will never do anything like this again in their whole entire existence as a football club, whether they go bust tomorrow or they last another 250 years. Leicester City will never have success like this again. and they owe everything to the Italian wonderman that is Claudio Ranieri. Leicester City are now everyone's favourite team to hate. Ranieri had defied the odds so much that Leicester became everyone's second team just so they would win the league title because it was such an extraordinary footballing story. It was what football was meant to be. The underdog, in my opinion anyway. Not the money bragging people. Yes, this is coming from someone who is a Chelsea fan. The money grabbing clubs not winning league titles. The underdog Leicester City winning the Premier League title. Everyone was behind them last season, and everyone wants to get relegated and smashed in their second leg. And Claudio Ranieri got sacked. These are the 4 players that have been mentioned, right? Wes Morgan, the captain. As I said before, he made Harry Redknapp think Wes Morgan should be called into the England squad. He's Jamaican once again. He's bloody Jamaican. He got, and then the other, Kasper Schmeichel. Actually, Kasper Schmeichel. He was asked in an interview, was he instigated in Ranieri getting sacked? As in, he was like, he went on and said, oh, he wasn't. But every time he was like asked the question, he was asked to look the reporter in the eye. He couldn't do it. He was like, well, I don't think we it was like blah 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 blah, looking left to right, like going like up, down, sideways. He is a guilty party in this. Shame on you, Kasper Schmeichel. You are a disgrace to Leicester City Football Club. Claudio Ranieri also. No way you were telling the truth in that episode. You were in that interview, sorry. You were definitely a part of the instigate that got that man sacked. And what did he get sacked for? Making you a Premier League champion. Making you, a goalkeeper to be talked about. It's disgusting and disgraceful. And also, Jamie Vardy and Riyad Mahrez were also the 2 players that were also the other 2 players that were discussed in getting Ranieri sacked. Jamie Vardy, Riyad Mahrez. Where would they be without Claudio Ranieri? Let me tell you, not Premier League champions, not getting a fat new wage packet, and they would not think they are Premier League football's ballers. This season, I don't know the exact figures, but Riyad Mahrez and Jamie Vardy have had more touches of the ball than they did last year. You know why? Because they think they're Premier League footballers now after they've won the league title. They think they deserve to be in a higher position where they are. These players had lost faith in Ranieri somehow after winning them the Premier League title because they thought they were bigger than they were. No. You guys have to realise that football is what it is. This was this was a miracle that he created for you. He gave you a platform to perform one of the greatest footballing miracles ever. Jamie Vardy, his name was sung at the Euros. His name was sung in every single ground throughout the whole of the world. Jamie Vardy was having a party. Well, your party is dead now, Mr. Vardy. Vardy, I fell in love with you in the past couple of years. So your rise to power last year, being one of the Premier League's best strikers, being at the Euros, you are now in one of my bad books. Leicester City, you're one of the most hated teams around right now. Kasper Schmeichel, Wes Morgan, Jamie Vardy, and Riyad Mahrez. You should all be ashamed of yourself. You owe that man every single bit of success you've had. You owe that man your whole career. The whole career you've had at the moment has led up to this moment. You owe that man everything. You won a Premier League title. I bet Jamie Vardy, Kasper Schmeichel and all them never thought they'd ever win a Premier League title. But Ranieri gave you that Premier League title. And this is how you treat him, by stabbing him in the back. You stab him in the back. As once again, the greatest manager that your club has ever had, and you stab him back. It's treachery beyond belief. This is for me, it's the worst thing that's happened in the modern football era. For me, being a Chelsea fan, Di Matteo was sacked 6 months after winning the Champions League. That was a bloody disgrace. Mourinho was sacked after winning the Premier League and the League Cup, having a bad start to the season. That was a bloody disgrace. Leicester City, you have now literally, you've epitomised what modern football is now, and this is coming from, once again, a Chelsea fan. You've, broken everything I've believed in football. Leicester City and Ranieri, right? This was the perfect match for me last season, and the start of this season, throughout this whole season as well. Ranieri was God. Leicester City were the team because they defied all the odds. They defied all the scripts, as I said earlier on. They won the Premier League title at 5,000 to bloody 1, with Danny Simpson as your right back and Robert Huth and Wes Morgan as your centre back. Danny bloody Drinkwater in midfield. Mark Albrighton, who was let go by Aston Villa. And Aston Villa, yes, I know Aston Villa were pretty crap. I know that now. But That's what Ranieri can do. That's what Ranieri did, not what he can do. That's what he did for Leicester City, and he was tossed aside by Leicester City. And I think it's just a bloody disgrace. Whoever they get in now will not be able to, accumulate or, emulate what Ranieri has done for this football club. Ranieri has, created an absolute dynasty for Leicester City. This will never be done again. And once again, it's a shame on those 4 players for angsting Ranieri out, even though he had given you the greatest moment of your career. That is the peak of your career. That's the greatest your career will ever get. Champions League football, Premier League winners. Just before I end my bloody rant, I would like to give Ranieri a round of applause. Ranieri got a 3 million payout and also donated 1.5 million of it to the Foxes Foundation. That is a Leicester City foundation. That's how much he loved the club. The club gave him a platform to work with, and he, exceeded all expectations. Claudio Ranieri should be loved in Leicester for the rest of time. Should be loved around the world for the rest of time. Well, that was I got everything out that I want to say. All my emotions scrambled into an about an 11-minute rant. I want to hear what you guys have to think on this dreadful, diabolical decision to sack Ranieri after giving this club, something beyond their wildest dreams. Guys, leave your comments down below and giving your reasons why Ranieri should have stayed. What your opinion is on the Ranieri sacking. I'm also going to leave a little icon in the corner for you guys to vote if Ranieri should have been sacked, either yes or no. And also, I want you to also leave down in the comments who should be Leicester City's next manager. For me, this question should not even have to come up. This video should never have had to be online. But I want you guys to put down below who you think the next Leicester City manager should be. That is the end of this video, guys. There are my thoughts on the Claudio Ranieri sacking and how Leicester City have become one of the most hated clubs in world football. As always, guys, give the video a like, share it around on social media, and remember, subscribe.